Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Sniper and the Pundit. I am the Sniper, he is the Pundit, and this is Top Rope Talk. And just so you all know, we are live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, DBTV, and also catch replays on Stream TV. So please, if you're on YouTube, hit that like and subscribe button, as well as the notification bell for all new material. It's not just Top Rope Talk. Of course, there's the Gauntlet. We kind of took a week off last week due to Thanksgiving. So I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. And now, hopefully, their Christmas tree is up already. Um, but um, but yes, hit the notification bell for all new videos coming up. It's not just us. It's the Gauntlet, College Football Fridays, First and 56, Sideline Sports Show, Hawk Talk, Gauntlet presents Picked Off. You name it, we're on it. And also, shout out to our good people over at the South Florida Tribune, Scott Morganrath, also Candy Eichhorn, Candy Eichhorn, Candy Ebling, and George Eichhorn. And
Now, is there something you don't want to tell us?
What's that?
No. You just said the names. Is there something you want to tell us?
I know, right? But yeah, shout out to and catch us on the Pundit's Pundit. It's going to be this Thursday. It's going to be very, very interesting topics, to say the least. Loaded show as always. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and get things started, because this past Saturday was full of surprises, and we're going to go over them right now. This is the WWE Survivor Series War Games recap episode. So, before we dig into it, what all your thoughts heading into the pay-per-view? Like, what did you think was going to occur, Jake?
Well, for one thing, I absolutely expected Bayley to get turned on right there and go babyface and be able to do something, but it looks like they're just setting it up to do it on Raw.
I said, hey, you know what? Maybe we'll see something tonight.
I was hoping, because part of the thing is, especially with that big of a show, just be especially the night we see the CM Punk back, we see Randy Orton back. We see all these ideas. Like, why not just go for that? I mean, why not be the beginning of that?
Yeah.
Like, I'm just seeing, why couldn't you have Bayley go babyface? Especially when I know that the fans want it. She's a phenomenal, tremendous babyface.
Yeah, she is. The only thing is I don't know if they want her to go back to the hugger.
I don't. It doesn't even. I was just saying that from last week. It doesn't have to be hugger, but she could be Cena. She could be the female Cena. Absolutely.
She could. She very well could indeed. Well, with that being said, that's a great segue into our first match, and that is the Women's War Games match. Insane match that took place. Definitely the highlight of the match was Io Sky, who stood at the top of the cage, put a whole trash can over her, and hit a crossbody from off the top of the cage. But Team Bianca Belair, Bianca Belair, Shotzi, Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch did defeat Damage Control. Now, Becky Lynch came and agreed to join the match, even if it meant siding with Flair. And they kind of had the two dogs kind of, growling at each other, tense kind of moment and everything. But then they ended up kind of putting that to the side for the better part of this matchup. Awesome matchup through and through. Also, this was Charlotte Flair's first War Games match. And now you see why she should have been in past ones. But I just want to ask, because it's Lynch and it's Flair, right?
Yeah.
So, do you think they could bury the hatchet, or is another rivalry in the wake?
I can see a rivalry. Now, as much as we've talked about how the WWE doesn't do the baby faces that well, as far as the thing, just because they're writers now. Here's the thing about it. One thing just a little here and there Vince has done over the years. I mean, especially mostly in Attitude Era. But, I mean, here and there with when Hogan and Piper teamed up when they weren't getting along and just those kind of things. They kind of do that story. They do that story where, it's like the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Of course.
They do that. And it's like, and that is a tremendous wrestling storyline. It really is, especially if done right. Rock and Austin, how many times did they team up when they were fighting?
Hey, even The Rock and Triple H were in the corporation together.
Yep. I mean, and then when it's like, see, what you get out of it is more. See, what you get out of it is more than anything else. Heels or faces, you get egos.
Yeah.
It's why I like the Click when they switch things up, when they help change things. Like when Shawn Michaels make fun of King Kong Bundy when they're both heels. I like that because it's the idea, it's ego. It's kind of like Deontay Johnson, even though I can't stand the guy. It's like Deontay Johnson in the locker rooms with everybody else. Maybe on the street they're slapping hands. Maybe on the street, whatever. Maybe Deontay's on another team next year, whatever. But in the heat of moment, it's ego.
It is. It is.
And
Absolutely.
then you all want to get the money in the end.
Yes, you do. Because you know what? Of all the women involved in this match, of all 8 women, the 2 top dogs are Flair and Lynch.
Yeah.
Next, and
Absolutely.
then would come Bianca. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just being real about that. You know what I mean? Now, can Bianca be on the same level of them eventually?
Sure.
Of course, and I think that she will,
Yeah.
But,
Well, yeah. Well,
I
no,
mean,
sure.
there's Lynch. Lynch, she headlined the first main event Women's WrestleMania and left with 2 titles. Then you got 14-time champion Lynch. Now Belair has had 3 Wrestle. What was it? 2. She won a title twice at Mania and had 1 title defense at Mania. So she's building her moments. But
Yeah.
I still think it's going to take at least a few more years to get to the exact level of Lynch and Flair.
Well, maybe a couple. It's like I really think Charlotte Flair is heading out. I really do. It's like, remember, she shouldn't have been this long, and it's like this is for Reed, and she's gotten all her. She might get the 16 titles, who knows, or 17 even. But I don't see her lasting that long. I mean, she's grown before our eyes.
Yes.
I mean, she's literally become a woman, and she's going to be a mom, and she's going to be all that stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like life gets in the way.
And you know what? Lynch has gotten to the point where she's done it all.
Yeah. Well, if she's gonna. You got to realize she's been on TV shows and movies. That's where her set's going to be. It's like this is where wrestling is going to go. Remember the story of Hulk not getting into Rocky? They said they were going to get into Rocky, or we're going to fire you. I mean, that ain't that way anymore. They thought wrestlers are wrestlers and actors are actors. The thing is, it isn't that way anymore. Now you use WWE to get there.
Yeah. And it's been a tried and true practice, like Orton was in a few films. You look at what The Miz and he's done, Cena, Rock, Hogan, you name it. But you brought up Bayley and the face turn. So let's just say that, let's entertain that for just 1 second, right?
Yeah.
If she turns face, do you split up Damage Control?
No, you put a new one in. I like it.
Put one in and take her spot.
Yeah. It's like you don't remember when it was 4 or 5, 3 or 4 or 5 or whatever. You don't split that. Now if it was like the Horsemen when they all got beat apart, then you split it. But it's just one you have to replace.
Yeah, very true. Well, with that being said, we'll go ahead and segue into our next matchup. Wasn't very many matches on the card, but with the 2 War Games matches, each lasting about an hour apiece, it was very understandable why there were only 5 matches on the card. And the second one, Gunther, to the shock of absolutely no one, retained his Intercontinental title when he defeated The Miz by submission. So are you buying that the Gunther will actually lose the title before the Royal Rumble? Here's why I buy it halfway, okay? Because there's a chance Gunther could win the Rumble.
Well, absolutely. But here's the thing. It's like, and that's very, very true. But the thing, and the 12-minute match, by the way. There was a 12-minute match, which that's a squash match to Gunther. He loves big, long matches.
Yeah, he wants the 40-minute match.
He wants the 40-minute monsters and everything, and you got to give him the world of a fight. Because Gunther has the capability and the skills to basically crush you in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
He has those. It's just, it's one of those things where it's like, I think that kind of thing would bore him. So doing that to Miz, it's just completely obvious that they're not interested. They're not interested in that. But the biggest thing is, I really believe that the heat in all of this type of thing will be both IC champ and world champ if they want to do it. You got to remember, this would be a big deal where it's like, you can't beat me.
Mm-hmm.
You can't beat me, and you can't beat me anywhere. I've got them both now.
Yeah.
And remember, now the Intercontinental Champions for the workers. That's come back to that. And so now you've got the Intercontinental Champion taking the world title.
Yeah.
Why not?
No, why not? But I will tell you this much: if in anyone's universe that happens, he's going to relinquish the IC title because he's done everything.
I want to see. You know what I want to see? You got a good point, but do you want to know what I want to see? I want to see a month of it, of him just getting both, winning the titles. Remember, that's like 4 pay-per-views, 3 pay-per-views.
Yeah.
I want to see him do that.
You want to see another Warrior when he beat Hogan?
Yeah, or Warrior had to give his up. But I'm just saying, do it for a month and then have him come out and say you can't do both. It's against the thing, and he has to relinquish one. And of course, he's going to relinquish the IC title. Then there's the heat of when he loses the world title, come back to the IC. You never beat me.
Yeah, that is
you
true.
Never beat
this
me.
One right here. Yeah, they're more than ready to take the belt off Gunther. They just don't know who they will put it on.
I would do Gable.
I do Gable also. I don't know what the holdup is, honestly.
No, but I could just see it. A month and 3 of them, he's got both. Then the who is it? Is it Pierce or who is it with Raw?
What, Adam Pierce?
Is it Pierce or is it Nick?
I think Pierce is Raw.
Pierce, okay. Pierce comes out and says you can't do that. We just read you can't do it. You got to give one up. He's got to give up. He said he's got to give up one, and of course he ain't going to give up the world title. That's the big cheese. So he gives up the IC title. You know what I mean? Hey, Dirty Dom, what's going on?
What up? What's going on? Keep on tuning in there, Dom, because I actually texted him he texted me right at the end of the pay-per-view, and I was like, yes, it's true, it happened, and we're gonna get to that just later on. But keep going, man.
But I was saying I could just see it the way that it needs to be done. I don't think it will be done that way. But just give it up in a month after he's done it to 2 or 3 different. He's done it both. He's it's like you could even say you could do things like, okay, this match is for the world title, this match for the IC title, whatever. He wins it all the time. Then he has to give it up. Yeah. Then he's got the belt for the world title for a while. Then he loses. Then the IC title goes for a bit. Then he comes back. I never lost that.
I never lost it. Yep.
I never lost it. And then he wins again. There's the heat. Then he wins again, and it's like now you've got the heat of he just lost to the very, very, very best. And that's the only loss. Yeah. So then he comes back and takes you, and now you got to get to that. That's the thought I'm thinking.
Yeah. No, it's not a bad thought at all. I mean, it just shows dominant even in. And well, let's face it. I think we have officially entered the downside of Reigns' tenure in WWE.
Yeah.
So why not bring up Gunther? Gunther is next, in my opinion.
Yes.
And he's next. He's going to take Reigns' spot as the dominant one.
And take that, and then guess what? You get that for a bit. Cody can beat him.
Yeah.
And then Gunther comes back to the IC title.
Yeah. No, it's absolutely. I mean, because you got to just look at what they are doing with Gunther, and then look at now Reigns is still dominant. Make no mistake about it. He's gonna break. He's probably gonna break Hulk Hogan's record here.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm at the point, and I say this as a Reigns fan. I'm at the point where Gunther could beat Reigns right now.
Oh yeah. I mean, that would get. Let's see. What if you? Here's the deal. What if you beat the dog? You keep it for a bit. You had to get the IC title up. Cody beats you. Cody beats you, and then you go back to that IC title you never lost anyway. Yeah. Then you've got who do you get? Then you've got yourself a little bit of a rivalry coming.
Yeah, you do, absolutely. So with that being said, going on to our third match, and that is Santos Escobar defeated Dragon Lee. So Escobar separated himself.
To no surprise of anybody.
Yeah, exactly. He separated from the pack, from the LWO buddies, but he had the Legado de Fantasma thing going, and then came to Raw and reformed the LWO alongside Rey Mysterio, and then later on Carlito comes into the fold, and now he's all on his own. Was it his time to really strike? This is his first time he's actually been without a faction,
Right.
And that's between NXT and SmackDown. But question: How far can he elevate without the LWO, without anyone?
As a babyface, zero, zilch, nada. As a heel, tremendously.
Right, you got
As
to
a
keep him
heel,
heel.
I like heel. I like him as a heel. Babyface is boring. He is. I'm sorry, he's boring. Maybe he'd be good babyface in, like you say, I'm going to say AEW, NWA, maybe those eras. But you have to have your own charisma to be an awesome babyface in WWE. You just do. They can't write it in. They can't give you a story. They're not capable of giving you the proper story. I told you WWE a billion times. The proper stories, we've had 3 years with the bloodline. Proper stories are family. Proper stories are people that can team up on a writer. Proper stories on that. If it's left up to the writer, it's nothing.
True. Understood,
Heel, they for some reason they can do it all day. Maybe it's more interesting. Babyface, no.
You know what? And I know fans really aren't, a fan of heel on heel, but I wouldn't mind seeing him take the U.S. title off Logan Paul.
Oh, for one thing, I'm not exceptionally fond of. He got it because you get it out there, but I wasn't fond of him losing to Paul. I wanted him to lose to his son.
Yep.
I wanted him to lose it to his son, retirement match, goodbye, and give his son more heat. Because I never, ever, ever, ever want to see that shrimp as a babyface again. I don't ever want to see him as a babyface again. He is a phenomenal heel. He just gets so much heat. And you got to add the heat. That would be so perfect.
Well, then you know what? Let me ask you this question. Since you want to keep him heel, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we asked this question about Santos Escobar. I'm going to throw one more at you, okay? How far can Dominic Mysterio, post-Judgment Day, how far can he elevate without Judgment Day?
It is tough to say because right now there's the mammy thing. The mammy thing is heat. It's like it's literally a male to Miss Elizabeth. With some obnoxiousness. It's the male going behind the girl. That's forever heat. That always will be. No matter what the media wants to bring, everybody wants to see the man protect the woman. They don't want, and it's going to be forever heat.
Yeah.
So you've got that. What can he do without Mammy? Maybe they can go together and they break off from it. And I'm saying maybe they could do that. But here's a thing.
The only pushback I got against that is I thought Rhea Ripley was actually a pretty damn good face. And eventually she'll go face. And she'll be a better face. She'll be a better face next time around than she was the previous time.
Yeah, Joe, no, she was a tremendous face. It's like, but what do you do with something like that? He doesn't have he is one of the rare ones that doesn't have, you want to see the idea of what the males go with females as far as that. You get that match with there. It's still bigger, but he hasn't gotten any kind of heat to be able to give her any trouble. And then you're just doing it all over again, so it'd be tough. But then once that ends, where do you go?
Yep.
So I don't, like I said, I don't want to see him turn babyface at all. Just go somewhere else, go to the thing. I mean, you can go back to the heat of taking his dad out.
Yeah, you could. And you know what? That's a nice little segue into our next segment. Speaking of Rhea Ripley, so she retained the Women's World Championship against Zoe Stark. So does this undoubtedly put her number one in the women's wrestling power rankings? If all other promotions, I'm talking about AEW, Impact, New Japan, Ring of Honor.
It's not even close. It's not even close. She's awesome.
Yeah. But I'm gonna say yes only because Cargill has yet to debut.
Yeah. But here's the thing. And that's very, very true. But here's the thing, though. She is amazing. I mean, she's absolutely amazing. But my main thing is it just amazes me. She goes 15 to 17 minutes with someone the size of a piece of paper, and gets 9 minutes to the muscular girl.
Mm-hmm.
Zoe.
Yeah.
50. Remember Zoe. 50 seconds to Natalia, which should have been 15, 17 minutes. You know, I mean, you get something like that. I mean, those are the things that's the things that the WWE. It's like this is when you have a crowd that has a belief. There's a lot of the crowd that believes that that's real in there for that couple hours, even though they know it's a thing. They believe that these are tough men, tough women. And if you're going to have something like that, it doesn't hurt that you would. Why don't they have true divisions with women? You can have the cruiserweight, you can have everything with the men, but why not the women? It's like it's the same boat. Why are the tiny ones messing around with Rhea?
Yeah.
Why are they messing around with Rhea? She could squash him.
Well, okay. How many of them in the division are really Rhea size or
Not
bigger?
many, and that's the thing. It's like, but you got to remember they had that big 5-way match. Had the big 5-way match, and all of them were big.
Yeah, well, but if you think about it, it's a trade-off because it's just like the men's. Because how many guys are Nash's size? How many guys are Paul White's size? How many guys are Taker's or even Scott Hall's?
Yeah, man. Well, that's true, but remember they have the divisions to do that kind of deal. It's like maybe it's trying to get more women in, and maybe they can have divisions. But I just never like. I mean, Rhea facing with Zoe Stark all day is great. I mean, Zoe's
Zoe's amazing in the ring.
Yeah, but she's great in the ring, and she's a muscular girl. It makes sense.
Yes.
But it's like, and then the 5-way makes sense. You know, that's all that kind of stuff. Wrestling the itty bitty ones, don't like it. Don't like it. Just, I mean, it looks like 20 seconds. It looks like 20 seconds, and it looks like something 20 seconds could happen, and Rhea can handle it, but she's got to put on a 15-minute match, and she's an amazing worker. She can put it on. She's an amazing worker, but I'd rather see her squash him in 20 seconds and make the point.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Well, and then on to our main event, and that was the men's War Games match. So Team Rhodes came out victorious. Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins, and a returning Randy Orton beat the Judgment Day. So Orton came out to a pretty awesome pop. He got into the ring and everything, fought off the Judgment Day. At one point, he even cornered Jey Uso and was like, hey, you were the guys that put me on the shelf. Jey Uso intercepted a guy that was looking to attack Orton from behind. Orton was like, all right, you're a real deal. I guess you're with me. They finished the match. So to those of you all who didn't see the finish of that match, so J.D. McDonough was taken to the top of the cage by two members of Team Rhodes. Then they threw him off the top of the cage right into an RKO. A fitting finish to the match. But I don't think it's over with yet. So I'm going to ask you, because this is a match. And you know what? Let me ask this first. I'll ask you this first, okay? Does this feud continue beyond War Games?
Yeah, we'll see. But you know what I loved with that J.D. McDonough deal? That reminds me of the early versions of the Nation of Domination when they had the ridiculous PG-13 in that, and they were the ones that took the beatings. It's like McDonough is taking all the beatings. He is PG-13.
Right.
Yeah, he takes all the whippings for the thing, and it's like I kind of get a kick out of that. And PG-13 was so obnoxious, and it's like it's perfect. But really, I like the idea that Jay cut him off to be able to do something like that. But I really don't believe that Orton thinks that that's finished. I think that's just the professional in him, and like, okay, this is going to work for this match. I think he's going to come back tonight and have a question about that.
Oh, and you know what? And not to mention, when Orton appeared, Damian Priest called for the Money in the Bank briefcase to come out, and Rhea Ripley brought it outside with the referee. They were going to cash in within the match, and then Orton's music hit.
Yeah.
That would have been creative at that point.
Well, you want to know? No. You want to know what would have been? You want to know what would have been a great little part right there? He didn't take the briefcase yet. For instance, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's without the briefcase in the match.
But I'm just saying he didn't take the. I'm talking about the ref. Didn't take the whatever before Randy's thing hit.
Yeah.
What if the ref took it and then they heard Randy's and then he yanks it back? It's like, no thanks.
Yeah. It's just funny how every single time he's tried to cash in with as many members of Judgment Day he has around him, someone slips through the cracks and stops it from happening.
No, but I'm just thinking, I know, and it's like, and that would have been a hilarious thing. It's like, Thanks, no,
Yeah.
no. I meant them.
Yeah, exactly. You know,
Yeah,
no, awesome match overall. But I also wanted to get your thoughts on this. Being a huge Dusty Rhodes fan and a fan of the Rhodes family altogether.
mhm.
So I actually just wanted to get your thoughts on Cody Rhodes finally competing in the match his father invented.
At the age his dad was slowing down.
Yeah,
At the age his dad is slowing down. I think of this all the time. His father was settling down and slowing up at the age that Cody is now, and Cody's at his biggest.
yeah.
And it's like, Dusty'd be proud of him for that, but age is nothing anymore. You got to remember, Hulk at 38 was 1991, slowing it down as far as he put the belt back and forth a couple times, and then you know what I'm saying? That's 1991.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying though. He was 38 years old. He slowed it. Dusty slowed it down. 38, but you got to see. But I mean, he'd been doing it since he was like 21 or something. These guys, when they were 38, had done it. 38 was incredibly old. Then you get, like, I'd say hypothetically, we'll say Terry Gordy. He was 14 in his first match.
Now, granted, yes, like nowadays, 38 will still be young, but even back then, I want you to keep in mind the classic NWA battles with Ric Flair in the cage, like
Yeah.
a ton of like and other steel cage matches as well. I mean, like Dusty was that guy. You can put him in any match.
Well, 38 years old in those days, 38's not going to be this way now. And I'm going to say this, it's not because the training is proper, the diet is proper. That's number one. Number two,
Orton is like 43 right now.
Yeah, I know. Terry Gordy was 14 in his first match. 38, that's 300 matches a year for 24 years. And he ended up dying at like 42 or something, you know? And those are the things. It's like, Ricky Morton was 16 in his first match. And I mean, Jim Cornette as a manager was 20.
Rey Mysterio was 15.
15, yeah, 14.
And he's
14.
still going.
14. Yeah,
you're right. He was 14.
Yeah, 14. But it's like, yeah, but these ages are so different because you go to the development center, proper conditioning, proper eating. You are only bumping part-time a day. You're only bumping part-time a day. Then you're going into promo class. Then you're going into all that kind of stuff like that. The rings are bumpable, proper bumping, not a boxing ring. You know, the health is so different now. They're at 38, Dusty looks every bit 48, 50. Then Cody looks every bit 30.
Yeah.
And he's beating his body up too, and it's just a different world.
Yeah, it is. I mean, and you know, you hit it with the whole, you know, the training is better now and the dieting's a little bit better and everything now. Of course, in the 80s, they had steroids to help them out, but of course, that can have internal effects.
Dusty wouldn't have a steroid on him for anything. His steroid was beer.
Just beer, yeah, you know. And then also, that's why I say it's a tougher era. They were on the road 300 plus days a year. They were and it's crazy because like some of them were actually full blown smokers.
Oh yeah, the Ricky Morton smoked 3 packs a day, and he was still able to go an hour in a match every night, which Ric Flair never understood. It's like he went an hour, but he was not a smoker.
But he was hungover.
Yeah. See, and that's what gets you with Rick. It's like these guys were freaks.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, let me tell you this: from the older ages, this is the thing. The health is younger now. The health is different now. They are working at it now. But remember, Hulk Hogan has 10 back surgery and is not only walking but still jacked.
Yeah.
Flair's still wanting another match in 74. He's everything like that. They're still getting it. The older generation's freaks.
Yep.
They're older generation's freaks because one back surgery usually puts somebody barely walking. Hulk is working out and looking jacked still at 70.
Now, also keep in mind that medicine has advanced since then. Like, I'll give you an example. The NFL, right? Mm-hmm. So if someone gets turf toe nowadays, they're out for like, what, 5 minutes? Like, it's not even that big. Okay, in the 1970s, that was an actual career-ending injury. So
Yeah.
just imagine somebody back then with a torn quad. Now you take Triple H, who tore 2 quads and came back in 9 months apiece.
Oh, and then we think about this now. Aaron Rodgers. We're going to a different thing with the sport. Aaron Rodgers.
Towards
They're
Achilles, and they're
so
talking about him coming back like next
this
month.
year.
I was like, insane.
No, it's like that's the advancement of surgeries. That's like you got to remember the Kyle Schwarber when he was with the Cubs had that tear game 3, had the ACL tear, came back in the World Series.
He
It's
did.
going to get
The third game, yes, the third game of the 2016 season, he tore his ACL and he made it back for the World Series.
He made it back for the World Series, and it's like it's going to get to the point where in the next 2 or 3 years we're going to see ACLs be 2 to 3 months.
I can see that.
And it's like, and Aaron Rodgers, it's like we're going to see these things. There's so many advancements now, and Cody's right in the middle of that. You can see him. I think Cody wants to be an actor anyway, so I don't think he's going to stay as long as his dad. But remember, Cody went for Hollywood first. I think he wants to go for this.
You know what? Honestly, I don't think he wants to go the Hollywood route. I think he wants to be a promoter. Well, remember, he helped start AEW.
He did at the
same time. He's a founding member of AEW.
I think he loves the storytelling, though, and he went for Hollywood first. His dad even helped him, to be good to the thing. So something just tells me remember, WWE, you have a chance with you have the links to all the studios. You have links to all that kind of stuff. I'm not saying he doesn't love wrestling. I'm saying I think that's a way to do it.
Right. It's just, man, I think his end goal is promoter. And I don't know if he's gonna join WWE staff, if he's gonna go back to AEW, or if he's gonna start up like his own. Like, I think he wants to be like kind of a Cornette, but a little bit bigger, because a Cornette is still Cornette, but he's low key. So he's promoting, but he's like low key, right? And then like he kind of shapes him up in the New Smoky Mountain. Then he sends him off to WWE or wherever it is they want to go.
And I'm saying this with a little bit of Cornette, but it is hard for me, and maybe I'm going to be wrong, but it is hard for me to think that Jim Cornette's done yet. He's not. Maybe he thinks he's old because his mom died at 71, maybe 72. Maybe he's 60 now. Maybe he thinks it, but he's not that old yet. He's settling itself down, and it's like he's starting to settle down. He gets pissed off, but he's starting to settle down in comparison to when he was 35. I just don't understand. He's got all the money in the world, especially from that podcast. I don't see why he just doesn't get a place 10 minutes from home. Just get a dang place 10 minutes from home that you can develop the kids the way you want it. Get them to the thing. You can leave it. And I know darn good well he'd send them to WWE now because Triple H will take care of them, not Vince.
Yeah.
He'll take care of what the thing that he had the first time around was Vince and doing his stupidity and all that stuff, and he would kill. Triple H will take care of them. He'll make sure that they've got that. He's not going to ask them to shave their head in the middle of everything and do stupid things. Triple H won't do that.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So get 2 or 3 spots you have all the money in the world. 2 or 3 spots are an hour away, between 10 minutes and an hour away from home. You don't have to leave. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to go to anything like that. I can't believe he's not doing this.
Well, give us some time. It could materialize still. I think he's kind of waiting on the next phase, seeing how this one's kind of iron out, and then and then just kind of go from there, because he ain't but 60 years old.
I know his head. Just because his mom died at 70 something early, I know he thinks that it's probably in his head. But I'm like, with medicine, he's also like 210 pounds now. He's not the 280 anymore. He's thinner. He watches himself now. As long as he settles down, he doesn't lose the cool like he always did. As long as he does that kind of thing, I don't see why not. Just because he's so good, he absolutely trained the whole. What was that era? Ruthless Aggression.
Ruthless Aggression, yes.
He had trained the whole Ruthless Aggression era, all of them.
That's insane.
I
say, that's insane.
I mean, he trained them all, and all the big ones, every single one of them. And it's like we named the big ones. He trained the others. That is saying something. He has it. That's why I was saying this is going to be a new era, and he's not that old.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Well, we do have to push on because as the winning team was celebrating in the ring, in the cage, in the main event, Chicago, Illinois was treated to a nice little surprise.
Yep.
This guy came back. I mean, and it was, to those of y'all who haven't seen it on Twitter or on YouTube, Facebook, or whatever, I mean, it easily was moment of the night. CM Punk officially
Yeah.
returns to WWE. He made his appearance following the men's War Games main event. So real fast, what do you think this means for both Punk and WWE?
I want to know if Seth's really pissed or if they're putting a phenomenal deal on.
Yeah, because I saw the clip afterwards. I was
Yeah,
like,
I know.
man.
I really want to know because if that is a work, it's a tremendous work.
Tremendous.
Because literally they had to get Michael Cole. Yeah, like Michael Cole's gonna break anybody up.
Yeah.
But it's like they had to go get Michael Cole, and see, you're not gonna push him off either. He's one of the big boys there.
Yeah.
So it's like you get Michael Cole, you got Triple H to go get it. You got all of this to go hold him back, and it's like, and there's no X's, no anything. It's like literally they just ran on out to go get him.
Yeah, they did. But I mean,
and then CM Punk was looking at him for a second. I'm like, is he coming?
I know, right?
he's looking. He kind of just does a half smile, and then when he's held back, then he goes to the crowd.
Yeah, you know, and the thing is it was like his music hit. He came out there, he interacted with the fans. The fans are going bananas as usual. You know what I mean? And the announce team said nothing. Like nothing was said on the air. Like Punk came out, the crowd reacted, and then it went off the air. Like literally and I was like, they played that so perfectly because it's almost like the announcers were so in shock they didn't know what to say. And it's like, I'm not gonna say anything.
Well, for one thing, when you have this, this logo up, when you put the logo up in the copyright, you're supposed to stop. Let the thing go. So it's over. So and here's the thing.
But that's the thing. Usually when the logo and the copyright goes up, they're supposed to wrap up and say, good night, everybody. Tune in next time. They didn't even say that.
Yeah. And I like and the big thing is what I like with it was you didn't quite know. And I'll tell you this, that music is so perfect. You know, it's like if it was his old music, I don't think it gets the same deal. Like, you know what I mean? It's just it's that. See, with the perfect, that's the thing WWE gets right with music. If it says Jim Johnston and just everybody else, they get it perfect. It's that first beat. It's the boom boom boom, and it's the crashing glass. It's the if you smell, you know, it's
something that gets them on their feet before the actual music.
The lead in, and it's like the lead into the real music. You know, it's like Cody has his.
Oh yeah,
it's like Cody has the lead. It's like the WWE is amazing. You can tell who's a big star and not by the lead in into the music. If it's just simple music, they're down on the card. You know, but if it's or their other thing when it's. If you or like I said, you didn't know, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
You know, it's like that's the thing. It's those little deals.
Yeah, it is. And we'll wrap up here and real quick. And speaking of Seth Rollins, and this is going to be our weekly finish or DQ. So finish or DQ, either title or non-title. Punk versus Rollins at WrestleMania 40 is on the horizon.
Oh, it'll be an hour. I could see that being I could absolutely see that being a 60-minute, an Iron Man. That is perfect for an Iron Man match.
Wow.
That's an Iron Man. The thing is, you want to know what I want to see with that Iron Man? No pins till the end. I want Sean and Brett.
I want another Sean Brett.
I hate Iron Mans with 11 pins. Hate it. Hate it. The whole point of it is just like in football, you're trying to keep the other side from getting that first point.
Right.
And so you'll see into the second quarter 0-0 sometimes. You're trying to keep it as much as possible. Like Iowa this Saturday coming up. You know they're going to try as long as they can.
As
It's
long as
like
you
they're not
can,
going to
yeah.
give it up and then try to get another touchdown because they can't.
Well,
That's the
shoot, it
point.
even went like last night's Ravens Chargers game. It went into the fourth quarter, 13-3.
Yeah, and it's like a net. That's the thing. I don't like the 6-5 matches doing anything. I want to see a 0-0. So angrily irritated each other. Neither was going to give up.
And the crazy part about that Iron Man match between Sean and Brett, had this had been any other pay per view, it would have ended in a tie and Brett would have retained the title. But
Yeah,
because it's Mania, it had to go to overtime. But let it have
and
been in your house,
well,
Brett
they
would have
built
left with the title.
perfectly. They built that perfectly because it led to Brett's heel turn.
Yeah.
Because it's like every other way, it's his. He held it off.
Hmm.
So then you had to hand it to him. You had to hand him another shot, and Brett was showing he was way too tired.
Yeah. Yep.
Brett was showing he was absolutely exhausted, and that was the reason.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're gonna say that this is a finish that they
Oh Lord, yes, finish. And it's like I said, if they get that Iron Man match, that I don't want to see a pin till the end. I want to see it because that is a absolute violent feud on the horizon. Just
yes.
like I said, bring the riot gear back.
Hey, why not? But well, that concludes our show. Thank you everybody who tuned in and came in the comments. Also, as a reminder, on YouTube, hit the like and subscribe button as well as the notification bell. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, DBTV, and X. And so for myself and the pundit, this is Top Rope Talk. We will see you next Monday.